Dear family of light, today we will talk again about 3i Atlas. The 19th of December was the day in which 3i Atlas was at its nearest point to planet Earth, and now is slowly going away, go further and further away from the Earth. So the energy is pretty strong in those days, and it's a good time to develop your channeling ability. I remember to the viewer that the goal of this channel is not only to transmit you information about the Pleiadians and what they think, what are their plans, but it's also to increase your energy and try to develop yourself telepathic capacity and the capacity to connect with your own spiritual guide. So if in the future you will stop to watch this video, this is actually a good sign, because that means that you don't need this video anymore, because you start to do your own channeling and your own um, connection with your spiritual guides. So 3i Atlas, for those who don't know, is an interstellar object which was spotted in July. Then there were many speculation if it was a starship or just a comet. The behavior of 3i Atlas didn't let that much to the imagination. He had a huge tail, then the tail was disappearing, then he had a tail and anti-tail, then both will disappear. He will stop. He stopped in Mars. And the velocity was reduced. He was accelerating and stopping. So everything brings to the idea that this is not a comet. And some days ago, I could talk with Svaru of Erra, which is my contact, my Pleiadian contact. She told me that this is actually a Galactic Federation of Light starship. For those who don't know, Pleiadian are part of the Galactic Federation of Light, and this federation is a federation that include many beings, many evolved beings in the Milky Way. So all the evolved species such as Andromedans, Arcturians, Pleiadians, vegans, Orion Belt, light beings, etc. And also, of course, humans that are already in fifth dimension, that are part of the Galactic Federation of Light. So in this image here, you can see the main group of extraterrestrial beings that are part of this Galactic Federation. The Galactic Federation goal is, of course, to increase the light of our Milky Way. And I remember, for those who don't know, that light is information from a Pleiadian perspective. So bringing light means bringing information to people. And this information is needed in order to help ourselves to connect better with our consciousness, connect with our memories, and to awaken something inside ourselves. So the evolved being of this planet decided to join together and create this Galactic Federation of Light. This is not the only federation. There are many federations, many groups, which I also don't know. But for the moment, we just focus on this federation specifically. The mission of 3i Atlas was to spread light codes around the sun, and then the sun eventually will, with its radiation, will spread all these light codes around the solar system. And the same thing they did, something similar they did on Mars, because they stopped in Mars. If you remember, the 2nd of October, the NASA shut down because the government of United States shut down everything. So we couldn't see what was happening with 3i Atlas, but we know now that the starship stopped there because there is interested in Mars. Is a good place to build maybe a port that can be a multiracial port. Human beings are interested in Mars. Elon Musk is talking a lot about this. So eventually, human being will go on Mars, and Mars will also be used by other extraterrestrial species that will use it probably as a port or to interchange. Is not too far from the Earth, so it can be a good spot to stop when the starship come to the solar system. So in Mars, they probably did a sort of energetic cleaning. They checked the place. The crew of 3i Atlas is mixed. So there are not only Pleiadians, there are probably Arcturians and other species, because it's a very huge starship, and so it can contain many beings. Now you may ask, what are light codes? So light codes are streams of information that can be spread into space. In this case, they spread it around the sun, but they can send it to Earth, or they can send it to other planets, which are needed, for example, for human beings, are needed to wake up something inside ourselves. It's not there are not orders. They're not telling us, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and this is the truth, and there is only one truth. No. Light codes are intended as something that can move our energy, that can awaken the dormant part of our DNA. Our DNA was modified many, many years ago, and today the beings of light are trying to raise up the energy of human beings, also taking advantage of the fact that we are entering the Alcyon photon belt. So taking advantage of this, they are trying to help us getting out of the ego, because as you can see, this year was very dangerous for human being. I mean, we almost enter a nuclear war. We are still threatening with the nuclear weapons to each other, and this tension is growing and growing. So the Pleiadian and other beings of light, they were a bit worried about our situation. That is why they send 3i Atlas. So it's not casual, the arrival of 3i Atlas, not at all. It was planned, and it has a specific mission. It will not come to the Earth. That's why 3i Atlas is going away, and he will go back where it came from. But his presence is very important for us. First of all, because thanks to the many channelers that connected with 3i Atlas, now we know that it is a starship, that there are beings of light on this, and so we are not abandoned, we are not alone. They, of course, try to increase our consciousness, but at the same time, they are leaving us free to act, because this galaxy specifically is a free will zone, especially planet Earth is a free will zone. So everybody can do what they want. And as it is a free will zone, you can manipulate consciousness. So from one side, you have the dark side. The Pleiadian call them the dark t-shirt, which are trying to spread fear, spread separation, spread violence, spread ignorance. And at the other side, there are the beings of light and all this beautiful channeler on YouTube and other channel that are trying to bring information and light to the planet. So you have to decide which side you want to be and act out of this decision. It is for sure a very interesting time in history to be in. The revelation, the extraterrestrial revelation, the disclosure is not far away. It is coming in the next year. It is already, they are already giving us information, but they know that they cannot give full disclosure, because a full disclosure will make our society completely collapse. And so they have to do it slowly, slowly. So this is basically everything that I know about Three Eye Atlas. Maybe you know more than me and you can comment below. I will very interested to hear what you think about that. And try in the future to don't wait for me to tell you what is Three Eye Atlas. To try to find the answer inside. We are so scared about what is inside ourselves that we always go in internet, in social media to search for answer. The more and more you develop in the spiritual path, and the more you should take information from the inside, not from the outside. So this is my invitation for you, and wishing you a beautiful 2026. This is the last video of the year. So I wish you for 2026 a lot of peace, a lot of light, and for now, be at peace, be at peace.
Silver whispers in the sky.